Brittany got me The Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan on tape. So I was able to listen to that on my drive, and it was life-changing.
Hi, I'm Brittany Anderson.
My name is Bodhi Anderson.
Welcome to SugarHill Farmstead. We produce grass-fed beef, grass-fed lamb, grass-fed rabbit, pastured pork, pastured poultry, and free-range eggs. Our farm is a closed loop system. So what we do is all of the processing that we do with our animals, we now compost in our composting facility. And then once that soil is generated, we can use it on our gardens. We've had it operating for almost a year. So we are on kind of the last couple months of our first harvest of compost. So it's really exciting.
So what we do is we take trees, we cut down junk trees, grind them up, and then cover over that plus some wood chip them, and then we'll put in some grass clippings, and we'll put the offals and hides and things from the butchering process, and then we'll mix all of that together, and then every 3 months we turn it, put water into it, because it's a roofed structure with 4 different bays, and then every 3 months we'll kind of pull all of that stuff out, put it into another bay, which turns it, allows oxygen to get in there, and then we've got a thermometer. And then once we hit the temperature, it comes back to our ambient temperature, then it's ready to go and put on the fields.
I'm one of those people that I'll wait, I'll see it to believe it kind of a person. And the first turning, we couldn't find even any bones. It was wild. There was maybe one little piece of hide, but that was like the last. It didn't have as much time to compost as some of the others because we try to maximize the space. So we put as many animal carcasses as we can in the one spot. So I only found one piece of hide that was like this big, maybe the size of the palm of my hand. And it doesn't smell. That's another thing. People are always concerned that compost will smell. And if it's done correctly, it doesn't smell. So if you're doing it and it's not reaching the right temperature, it doesn't have as much water, it doesn't have the right ratios of brown to green, you're gonna have some smell.
We try and put about 12 inches of green and brown, like for wood chips, on top of the carcasses, because otherwise the mongoose will smell it and they'll dig it up and make a mess, and then you get flies and maggots. But as of right now, you could walk by it, you'd have no idea that there's 10 animal carcasses in there cooking. You want to be able to grab a hold of it. Of course, you want it to be hot. And so our temperature is around 140 to 160 when it first kicks off. But when you grab a hold of it, you want to be able to squeeze it, have it hold together without water dripping out of it. So you don't want it to be too wet, but also if it's too dry and you pick it up, then the wood chips are just falling through your hands, and that's not gonna get it lit off or start to tear down the animal carcasses.
In a few months, hopefully we'll be able to put it in our gardens and then grow our organic vegetables. And so we sell our meat through our meat CSA, and also we do specialty bundles and beef shares. And then all of our customers have access to a password protected farm club where they can add on things that we have extra. Like we're gonna have a lot of green beans, and so I'll put green beans up there, and usually salad mix, and hopefully we'll have some tomatoes on there as well for our customers to purchase in addition to their meats. We're definitely the OG meat CSA for Hawaii. It's been an incredible learning experience, and the demand for the products, I don't know that we could ever supply enough.
And we're delivering out to Pahoa, Hilo, Waimea, Waikoloa, and Kona on that first Saturday of each month.
Yeah. And then we do farm pickups here on the farm as well. And so I always love talking to customers. I always try to get my Kona people to come over at least once, because it's that connection with the food that really started the whole thing. We wanted to have a connection with our food, and we just happen to be those people that go, hey, let's start a farm and grow our own food. And then we just had an abundance and wanted to feed our community as well. The farm pays for itself, yes. The vegetables at the scale that we have, we have less than an acre in production. That the cost benefit for a vegetable CSA on such a small footprint doesn't really, it depending on how you calculate it all, maybe it'll pay for itself as long as you're doing all the work for free. But if you are paying someone to help with the vegetable CSA on such a small footprint, it really didn't make any money. But the animals, you can, especially since most of our animals eat grass. We do supplement for our pigs and chickens. They get some feed, but we try to keep our costs as low as possible so that we can have a little bit of a higher margin. People are really used to farmers being in poverty, and we are trying to change that by we don't do work trade. We want people to be able to make money. So when they come and help out at the farm or help us.
So I was one of the medical providers for the Ka'u Bay Clinic, so the southernmost health clinic in the U.S. And it was a long drive, hour and 15 to hour and a half every day, one way. And Brittany got me The Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan on tape. So I was able to listen to that on my drive, and it was life-changing, honestly, to think about just how sick the people were down there with conditions that you would find in a third world country that you wouldn't expect here. And a lot of it came down to diet. They were eating junk food because that was what was available, and I would say it's a food desert down there. It's very difficult to, there's not great farmers markets. There is now. Things are growing, but I think that was the big wake up for me was, wow, food is medicine. So if I can convince the patients to eat that way, then we should be eating that way, and we can avoid some of those health conditions in the future. And I think that's where it started. And then just researching where our food came from, being very, very focused, hyper local. Is that from here? No, I'm gonna skip it.
Yeah, I think I make our own kimchi because we do carrots and green onions and cabbage. The green beans, Swiss chard. I do cauliflower, broccoli, eggplant, salad greens. I'll do cucumbers, tomatoes, herbs. So if we didn't have enough to do, I decided to run for county council for our District 1, which is from kind of the Singing Bridge all the way up to Pu'unani Drive in Waimea. It's like the entire Hamakua coast. It's kind of an impressive amount of space to kind of cover as a council person. And I'm really motivated because a lot of our rural roads are in disrepair. There are bridges that are condemned, so farmers have to go 14 miles out of the way to go over a bridge that doesn't have the weight requirement for heavy machinery, so they can't build infrastructure. And people are just being kind of forgotten. And our roads and our bridges here in Honolulu have kind of just fallen into disrepair, and I'm really motivated to help those farmers that are feeling kind of isolated and forgotten because no one seems to care if they can get their produce to market. So that was a big motivating factor for why I decided to run. So it's been interesting trying to fit it all in between farm chores, but you can follow me on Instagram. Well, follow us at SugarHill Farmstead. You can check out our website, sugarhillfarmstead.com, and also I'm part of, it's called core24.org. And it's a coordinated campaign with all like-minded candidates in all the different districts on the island. So it's really nice. We kind of share resources and we do a call every Monday. It's kind of fun to be able to have in politics, you don't usually find people that want to work with you. You're trying to work against, swimming against the stream all the time. And so it's really nice to have a group of people that share the same common goals and can share resources and inspire each other to keep going. Well, thanks for joining us at SugarHill Farmstead, and I look forward to being the next county councilwoman to get things done around here.